name, where you from, and what's your question?
Yeah, my name's Jameson. I'm in Sacramento, California. I've been working on a prototype of my game for about 2 years now, and I'm interested in trying to take things to a level where they're more polished. And I'm curious of your thoughts of
You cut out there.
how's the finish line for.
Yep, you cut out there. You said, I'm curious about hiring. What was it?
Curious about hiring a team. And I saved up about $10,000.
Yeah.
And I just want to know if that's reasonable to hire some professionals to help me get across the finish.
Well, there's two finish lines, and that's a really, really good question. There's two finish lines, and you cut out there, so I'm not sure if which finish line you're talking about, but I'm just gonna sort of go for both. The first finish line is finishing the prototype and then selling that prototype to either a crowdfunding audience or pitching it to a publisher. Or the third option is taking a demo and pitching it to Steam and offering out a demo during like Next Fest and getting hopefully 100,000 wish lists from a Steam demo. This is just my personal preference. There's no correct answer, but my personal preference is to figure out your prototype alone. Do everything that you possibly can to make it beautiful when you're alone. And then once you've ironed out all those kinks and you've figured out exactly how to make your prototype beautiful and it's super polished, then and only then you can build out a team. And here's why. The reason why is because it's really, really difficult to manage a team when you haven't done the thing first, right? So building out your prototype involves coding. It involves obviously planning and project management and art and music and sound design and understanding Unity or Unreal or Godot. So you've got to understand all these systems. And so it's really, really difficult to pay a team. And it's also very wasteful to pay a team when you don't even understand how to do it yourself. Now, you might say, well, I actually do understand everything myself. I just don't want to build it all out completely for the prototype. The truth is, even me, and I'm on my fourth commercial, it's really my third commercial release. Even on my third commercial release, this is my third publisher I'm working with, I still don't fully understand everything that we had to do for our prototype. So I had to go in and pretty much understand every aspect of the prototype. Granted, for me, I had a team when we were building our prototype, so I'm not really following my own advice here, but I did follow my advice for my first two games. And I think that's the important part, which is if you're just starting out and you're making games, and this is your first prototype or your second prototype, I highly recommend you actually doing all the work possible before hiring out a team. So you may be thinking, well, I'm not very good at artwork. Do your very best to get as much of it done as you can on your own. And then once you have an understanding, even an understanding, like think about it, you may not have the best character sprite for, let's say, a 2D platformer, but if you go in and do it yourself, and no matter how crappy it is, at least you understand the process so that when you're hiring somebody, they can't, number one, cheat you, they can't be lazy and you think they're working hard when in reality, they're being lazy, and you should know that because you can do it too. So it gives you a really good understanding of what things cost. And by the way, if you're like me and you always dreamt of making an indie game as a full-time job, I have a free webinar below that goes into exactly how to make 6 figures with just a demo. I was just like you for years. I thought I had to make a game in its entirety before getting a paycheck, but there's actually 3 ways to make 6 figures before even finishing your game. I've done this multiple times. So check it out below if you do want to go full-time indie. And thanks for watching.